Imagine waking up one morning to emergency sirens. The TV cuts to static. A news reporter announces that nuclear missiles are on the way. Within minutes, millions of Americans panic. Highways fill with traffic. Families run for shelter. But somewhere beneath mountains, hidden behind giant steel blast doors, government officials disappear underground, safe, protected, prepared for the end of the world. During the Cold War, the United States secretly built underground bunkers designed to survive nuclear war, and some of these hidden facilities still exist today. To understand these bunkers, you first need to understand the fear of the Cold War. After World War II, the United States became the first country to use nuclear weapons. The atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki showed the world something terrifying. Humanity now had the power to destroy entire cities in seconds. At first, America was the only nuclear power, but in 1949, the Soviet Union successfully tested its own atomic bomb. Now, two superpowers had weapons capable of wiping each other out. This began the Cold War. For decades, the United States and Soviet Union competed in nuclear weapons, military power, espionage, space technology, and the fear of nuclear war became part of everyday life. Schools held duck and cover drills. Families built fallout shelters in their backyards. Children grew up believing nuclear war could happen at any moment. Then, in 1962, the world came dangerously close to disaster during the Cuban Missile Crisis. The Soviet Union placed nuclear missiles in Cuba, only 90 miles from America. For 13 days, the world stood on the edge of nuclear war. And behind the scenes, the U.S. government began preparing for the apocalypse. The U.S. government feared that if Washington, D.C. were destroyed in a nuclear strike, the country could completely collapse. So officials created something called continuity of government. The goal was simple. If nuclear war began, key leaders would be evacuated to secret underground bunkers where they could continue running the country. These facilities needed to survive nuclear explosions, radiation, EMP attacks, chemical warfare, and they needed enough supplies to support life underground for weeks or even months. Billions of dollars were secretly spent building hidden bunkers across America. Some were military command centers, others were emergency shelters for politicians, and many Americans had absolutely no idea they existed. One of the most famous Cold War bunkers was the Cheyenne Mountain Complex. Built deep inside a mountain in Colorado, this underground fortress became the headquarters for NORAD, the organization responsible for detecting incoming missiles and enemy aircraft. Workers literally carved tunnels into solid granite. Inside were command centers, sleeping quarters, cafeterias, power generators, water systems, everything needed to survive underground during nuclear war. The facility even had giant steel blast doors weighing over 20 tons, and many of the buildings inside the bunker were built on giant springs designed to absorb shock waves from nearby nuclear explosions. During the Cold War, military personnel inside Cheyenne Mountain monitored radar systems 24 hours a day. If Soviet missiles were launched, this bunker would become one of America's last military command centers. But one of the strangest bunkers in America was hidden beneath a luxury hotel, the Greenbrier Bunker. On the surface, it looked like a normal resort for wealthy guests, but secretly hidden underneath was a massive bunker built for the United States Congress. If nuclear war happened, senators and representatives would be evacuated there to continue operating the government. The bunker included dormitories, meeting rooms, medical facilities, communication centers, cafeterias. The entire facility remained secret for decades. Most hotel employees didn't even know it existed, and this revealed something unsettling about the Cold War. While ordinary Americans practiced hiding under desks during nuclear drills, government officials had access to highly protected underground shelters. During the Cold War, many people genuinely believed nuclear war was inevitable. Television programs warned families about radioactive fallout. Cities created evacuation plans. Some Americans even built private bunkers in their backyards. But experts understood the horrifying truth. A full nuclear war between the United States and Soviet Union could kill tens of millions of people within hours. Entire cities would disappear. Communication systems would fail. Radiation would spread across huge regions. The government's underground bunkers were never designed to save everyone. They were designed to protect enough leadership to rebuild the country afterward. And that realization terrified people, because it meant survival might depend on who had access to the bunker and who didn't. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, the Cold War officially ended. But many of these bunkers never disappeared. Some were abandoned, others became tourist attractions. But several government emergency facilities are still believed to be operational today. Governments continue preparing for nuclear threats, terrorism, cyber attacks, global disasters, and in recent years, wealthy billionaires have begun building luxury survival bunkers of their own. It seems humanity's fear of apocalypse never truly went away. It simply changed with time. And somewhere beneath mountains and hidden facilities across America, Cold War bunkers still remain, silent reminders of a world once terrified of nuclear annihilation. The Cold War was more than a political conflict. It was an age of fear, a time when the world stood only minutes away from nuclear destruction. And while ordinary people prepared as best they could, governments secretly built underground fortresses designed to survive the end of civilization itself. Today, many of those bunkers still exist, hidden beneath rock and steel, waiting for a disaster the world hopes never comes. Subscribe for more dark historical mysteries, Cold War secrets, and unexplained events from history. And comment below, if a nuclear bunker existed near your city, would you want to know about it?